Hi, everyone. My name is Vaughn Sweet, and I am a care coordinator here at Wichita State University. I am so glad to be here today with you guys, recapping what Tara Hanna did last week with Shocker Strong. This last week, Tara covered Cultivating Optimism. So I'm just briefly going to hit some of the main points from her videos and then let you know what to expect this week. So before we get started, I just want to remind everyone that there are 11 sessions, if you will, in this Shocker Strong Resilience program. If you complete 8 of the 11 modules, you will be entered into a drawing to win one of 2 $500 book scholarships to our bookstore here at the Radigan Student Center, as well as there are 3 swag bags available. So make sure to get all the assignments in and submit them in the links for each of those modules so that you can get entered into those drawings. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. So last week, Tara does her videos every Thursday at 3:30. Last week, her video was about cultivating optimism, and it was fabulous. I have gone in and watched it as well as looked at the worksheet, some of the articles, and the video. So I'm going to hit on a couple of those main points that Tara made. And so, yeah. So the first one is cultivating optimism on the worksheet. She did a great job with this worksheet. I can't see it right now, but basically it is saying that optimism is kind of like how you see it and how you create it. And with that said, there is something called like toxic positivity, where, we can't be happy all the time. But what we do have to do is kind of look at those situations and kind of decide how we are going to let it affect us. One of the examples in a video I watched, and I encourage you to watch the videos in the week 3 extras that she put on there, because there's some really good stuff. One of the examples was getting a flat tire. No one wants to get a flat tire on the way to work. You're already running behind. But this kind of leads into how then you deal with that. Someone who is an optimist is going to think, okay, is this temporary or is this permanent? Having that flat tire, it's going to make you late. You're going to have to pay to get it repaired, those kinds of things, but it's only temporary. It's only in that moment or that short term that it's this big problem. Someone who is more pessimistic is going to just take that and it's just going to ruin their whole day. They're thinking, their boss is going to be mad. They're going to get in trouble. Then they're going to go home, argue with the wife, have this horrible day. When in reality, a flat tire stinks, but it's a flat tire. And so really when things happen kind of in that moment, really taking a moment to step back, take a breath, and ask yourself, is this something that's temporary or is this permanently going to affect me? In life, there's going to be things that are going to happen that are going to be permanent. And recognizing which ones are permanent versus that temporary, I think will be very helpful. More often than not, the things that we experience in life, they're temporary feelings. They're temporary thoughts, and in time and with a little bit of effort, and reframing some of those thought processes, that will get better. And so again, making sure that you're really kind of taking a step back and really thinking about what's temporary versus permanent. Also, there's kind of those pervasive thoughts. Let's use the flat tire example again. Someone with the flat tire is going to think, wow, I'm going to be late for work. This really stinks. But they're going to be able to be more resourceful in that moment and think bigger picture. Someone who goes straight to being a pessimist about the event is kind of going to lose their ability to use some of those resources that they have. They get so frustrated, so angry that they forget that oh, maybe I have a tire in the back of my car. Or maybe they're so flustered that they can't even, use the tire that they have to fix the problem. And so really a lot of this boils down to taking that step back and thinking about the bigger picture. Um, and also with optimism, being optimistic, when you have a bad day, it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. You don't have to be happy and positive all the time. I myself like to pride myself on being happy and seeing the good in things. However, it's I realize that I'm going to have bad days, and taking that and kind of reframing those thoughts to think, okay, like, yeah, I'm a little bit stressed out. And it's okay to feel stressed out. I don't have to be happy and bubbly and perky all the time. If I'm having kind of an off day, that's okay. And it's okay for you guys to have those days too. Um, and one of the videos that I watched that Tara added into the module week 3, which again, I super encourage you to go check that stuff out if you missed it, was a video of a man from Houston. And he was talking about how negative things are necessary in life. They're teaching moments. One of the examples he gave was being a little guy who was at a barbecue and he was super curious about this grill. Like, what is this thing doing? Why is it here? And so he went over and touched it. And as you know, if you touch a hot grill, you're going to burn yourself. So this little guy realized that, like, wow, like if I touch this grill, I'm going to burn myself. And so he used that negative moment to help shape kind of his thoughts on, dangerous situations, if you will. And so having those negative things is also super important, as rough as they can be in that moment. Each experience is a learning experience for each of us. And it's how we take that experience and either grow from it and learn from it, or does it kind of trap us in this moment? Life is full of ups and downs and roller coasters. We're in the midst of, everything COVID and this whole pandemic. And so being resilient and kind of having that optimistic mindset that, this isn't going to be forever. Things may never look the same that they did before, who knows? But just kind of rolling with it is incredibly important. Our brains are such incredible muscles, and with time and learning to really reframe those thoughts, whether this is never going to get better, this is terrible, and really reframing that to think, this is terrible right now, and that's okay to have those feelings, but knowing that, is this forever? What can I do to make this better? The worksheet in there, I encourage you, if you have not done it already, I definitely encourage you to do it. She's got some incredible points in there, some incredible questions to really kind of sit and think about, when you're having a quiet moment. I'm totally going to work on that worksheet myself, and some of the goal setting. And, where do I want to see myself in a year, 5 years, 10 years? And thinking about some of the things that are happening in my own personal life and using those as a motivator, if you will, to get to where I want to go, to the goals in which I want to achieve. And so the main points really from the video and from everything Cultivating Optimism is, one, it's okay to not be okay. We're not always going to be happy and positive all the time. One example that Tara gave in her video from last week was, as a child, her mother would, if something bad happened, would say, put a smile on your face, basically invalidating her experiences. Sorry, my light went off. That's that. Invalidating kind of how she was feeling, and almost, in certain situations that might really skew someone's idea of how to process and deal with their feelings. Because if you're having a bad day and all someone is telling you is to, put a smile on your face and, go about your day, that really invalidates the way that you're feeling. And, that's not, it's kind of that toxic positivity, because it's not genuine, it's not real. And so being able to identify how you're feeling and be okay with that, but making those changes, is this permanent? Is this temporary? And going from there is incredibly important. Realizing that the way you feel is not forever. If you get to a point where you feel like you're so overwhelmed and you're just in this really dark place, don't hesitate to reach out, talk to someone, talk to your friends, talk to a counselor, talk to someone you trust, come to care team, and we would be happy to help you kind of navigate those things as well. So again, with the week 3 Cultivating Optimism, I strongly encourage you to go back and look through those things, complete the worksheet, go through the different articles and the videos that Tara provided for you. They're wonderful resources, and I think there's a lot to gain from that. And so looking forward to this Thursday, Tara does a video each Thursday at 3:30. And this week's video is going to be about living in the present moment. And sometimes that's hard to do when you're thinking about, wow, I've got this to go. I've got work, I've got school, I've got this, I've got life. It's really difficult sometimes to really live in that moment. But for something like this and what Tara is doing with this amazing program, the Chakra Strong Resiliency, is to help you get the skills and utilize the skills in order to be able to bounce back from bad things that may happen. A bad grade on the test, again, the flat tire on your way to work, and having those skills in your toolbox to utilize for future happenings. So I am so glad that you were with me today. I said it was going to be a short video. I hope I wasn't too boring, and I will look forward to seeing you guys again with my topic that I'll talk about. So until then, take care, everyone.